Hey there, and welcome back to the BoardGame Sherpa. The channel takes the fear out of board gaming and puts the fun back in. Well, you asked for him. We got him back. Johnny Rox, the original BoardGame Sherpa, has come back for yet another top 10 list. Today's top 10 list, the things we're looking most forward to at GenCon. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay, you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. Well, my first thing is basically the road trip out. I just, I like traveling, in a car, and all the hijinks and things that are encountered along the way at the rest stops, the crazy billboards that we see, like there's
Tom Raper Way.
Then, the people that we, you drive by and goofy stuff happens. I think there was like a horrible thing a couple years ago. There was the bathrooms are down at one
time. No, I remember
and
that.
These guys complained about it for like it was hilarious. But
it was a porta potty that hadn't been cleaned in months, and it stunk just like that.
Yeah, these guys trying to compare it to things like how ungodly the smell was, or
that smell is the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life.
So that was one of the stories, but it was just all that stuff I enjoy. It's a nice trip from Jersey, where we're at. It's like a straight shot, but as you continue on, it just becomes farmland, and it's just nice and peaceful. And then by the time we get there, it's like nighttime, so it's like
exactly.
Everything's winding down, and you got the sunset, and it's just very cool. So that's my opening. That's number 10.
Okay,
for where
I want to put my disclaimer in. We haven't seen each other's list at all.
Oh no!
My number 10 is the DriveUp.
Oh yes. Do you have different reasons why, or?
Again, all those reasons.
Yeah.
That bathroom trip, absolutely. Tom Raper Way, absolutely. Right? Everyone we run into anything. But when I was a kid, I read Jack Kerouac's On the Road.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the coolest thing.
Awesome.
And this is our version of it. Like every year we drive up to GenCon, and it's a 12-hour trip, and I don't want to fly it. It's so much easier to fly. But that drive is probably one of the biggest reasons I like going, especially with these guys.
Yeah, it's part of the trip. It's part of the experience.
Yeah.
And then, even the one year, Roddy Piper, we found out he passed away, on the trip out. And that was, every time I think of Roddy Piper now, I think of GenCon. Yeah. It's a weird thing. It was a horrible thing to find out, but it was like,
my buddy
part of the trip out now.
My buddy texted me like that. You were texting, I was like, and Roddy Piper's a big part of both of our lives. I know, 2 months earlier, I had an opportunity to meet him at a convention in New York City called the Big Apple Con, and my bus was late. So so Jackie and I decided, let's skip it this year.
Yeah.
2 months later, he died. And it's like
there's so many stories like that of people I know, because my mom did the same thing with Elvis.
Man,
he was playing, and there was a line. She's like, "I'll see him then when he comes around," and he passed away.
Just as a show, you never know when you're going to see someone last time.
If you got the opportunity, do it.
Absolutely, that changed my life. Now, if it's someone I really want to see, I'll move hell or high water to get there.
Now it's gone from GenCon to life advice,
Life affirmations with the BoardGame Sherpa and Johnny Rox.
You're gonna sherp people into living a great life.
My goal is to get people to climb a mountain.
Whether with board games, with life,
that's what it is.
It's about enjoying. Board games are about enjoying life.
Exactly.
It's part of. It's not. It's a part of your life.
Agreed.
That it all works together.
What I like about board games is that it brings people together. It brings people together without the phones and the devices.
Yeah.
That's the reason I like board games.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that you've had your daily dose of psychology, philosophy, now let's go for your number 9.
Okay. This I wonder. This will probably be on your list, and I was surprised that I decided to put it down, because I didn't realize how big of a thing it was until your videos and stuff. It's basically the zombie walk on the first day. That's just become part of the the experience as well, where everybody's just like camped out outside of the exhibit hall doors and standing there for 45 minutes, and then finally the doors open and it's just this mass movement.
You're down in that left. You're down there.
Right. I was I think the first time you filmed it, I was kind of like,
yeah, I was up.
You're like, I got to see this from above and get the whole, and it's impressive because especially when you speed it up, it's just like, oh my God, the flow of people,
I'll throw a link in on top of it so you can see.
But you're going to do that again this year, right? I mean, it's tradition at this point, yeah. And it's great because you're waiting to get in and you're talking to people and you just kind of, which is the great thing about GenCon is that everybody is in the game, so you hear them talking, you go, oh, did you play that yet? And I'm looking at this, and oh, what do you think? And then you just start talking about games, and then before you know it, the doors are opening and everybody's going in. And it's awesome.
Yelling at you, don't run.
Yeah. As people just like, run to the game they're trying to get before everybody else buys and it sells out, Yeah.
I was in that crowd one year.
Yeah.
To get King of New York.
Right.
I ran my ass
off.
I've told this about many times.
Yeah.
I ran my ass off and for nothing.
Right.
So, never again.
Yeah, it's not worth it because like most of this stuff, I mean, it's cool if you could get at the show. It's like, yes, you complete a mission, but they're going to print it again. Yeah. If it sells out, all these companies are going to do another print run.
Yeah.
So you'll get it eventually, but it is part of the fun. Like there's a couple of games that I'm looking for too, and that hunt is
this is why I pre-order games.
Yeah. Oh, there's a thing that just popped in my head about advice. Maybe I'll throw that. Well, you've talked about now. I'll just finish there. I think you've talked about what I just thought about in one of your videos, but I'll bring it up again when it's when it gets more appropriate to mention it. So,
all right. Well, I would like to reiterate. Johnny and I did not look at each other's list. We had no plans in the making of this.
Oh man, it's another one.
Number 9. The opening crush from my safe perch above the vendor room opening. It is. I mean, he goes in the crowd. I'm up on the top. I'm like 3 levels up, looking down on this, getting video of it. You'll see the video probably as I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
But he meets people down there talking about games. I meet people up there, and we're like, yeah, I wouldn't go down there.
It's like talking about me and like, can you believe that people
look at those idiots down there. You wouldn't get treated down there.
I'm standing there like, hey, what's up?
But yeah, so same exact thing, different perspective.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
honestly, that's really funny.
I really think I go for that moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's the moment I go to GenCon for.
It's great.
The drive up and that.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's fun.
I can't miss that.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't even know that was like really a thing until like you did that video, and then it kind of like I'm like, oh wow, that's really wild. Well, everybody just kind of, it's just like it's like water. It's like just like like the Hoover Dam just let open or something.
The flow of humanity.
Yeah.
And the reason that happened is because I went down there for sure, and I said I'm never doing that again. And so I said, let me go upstairs. And I was like, I'll take some, there's got to be some great pictures.
Yeah.
And I filmed it, and I was like, and as I was looking through I videotaped it. And I was looking at the video, oh my God, it looks even better when you just fast forwarded.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's really cool.
It's one of my main reasons for loving to go to GenCon in person.
I'll have to like hold up something. So like here we, so I see where I'm at, and like,
how about this?
The water flows. There I go. Oh,
You're being filmed by the BoardGame Sherpa.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna make this a thing now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we gotta get signs.
Oh yeah.
All right, that was my number 9.
All right. I mean, we might just like,
oh no,
have like mirrored lists here. All right. My next one. What is this?
8.
It's 8. First time I went there, I didn't really think too much about food, but especially like around the area. But the food trucks, like food trucks anymore, or gourmet. I mean, I remember like when food trucks was like, oh my god, I guess I'll eat off the food truck. Now, holy cow! Like this, I remember the one year, like 3 years ago, we got tater tots, and they just had like lobster meat on them and all these spices and sauces. It was fantastic. I mean, you got to wait in line. Like, there's a ton of trucks, and then of course, when lunchtime hits, everybody goes to the food trucks, and it's just kind of like, you're standing there for a while, but it's worth it. And it's a lot of it's fun. It's like the smells, and you're walking. You see what everybody's kind of like making, and it's top of the line stuff. Like food trucks are no joke anymore.
It got a lot. Do you remember our first time there, and you got the bratwurst?
Oh yeah, I ate at don't eat at the convention center. I guess
never eat bratwurst at a convention center.
Oh yeah, it took a lot of time out of my gaming that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I suggest go to the food trucks or one of the surrounding restaurants, and they really kind of accommodate everybody really well. I think, they're set up, and at this point, I mean, GenCon's been there forever, so they know the deal. They're like,
yeah,
they get people through fast, and there's so many places, and everybody kind of spreads out, and they handle everybody pretty good, and usually. Yeah, and food trucks. I mean, that's the way to go, in my opinion. Right. And a lot of the stuff isn't really that expensive. Like if you get lobster, the lobster rolls are probably like off the charts this year. But my niece got a lobster roll last time. It wasn't too bad. I think it was
Flounder ate at the convention center last year, and he had to take some time off from his gaming as well.
Don't eat at the convention center. Yeah. Sorry, Indianapolis Convention Center. Yeah, that's some more Sherpa advice, I guess, for you.
Yeah, well, I can tell you,
I paid for it.
I can tell you, my one the food is not on my list at all.
Yeah,
I bring my own food. Just because, I got a weak stomach, so I was like,
and that's it. And that's the thing. Like, that's probably smart because everybody gets hungry at the same time. If you're getting hungry, there's probably like at least 1,000 other people that are getting hungry, and everybody's so like
got to preload. Yeah,
it's good to kind of like offset your like. If you could not eat lunch at 12 and like maybe wait till 2 or something, maybe that's a good.
Or eat at 10, then eat at 10, then at 12 you go do the things that everyone's going to lunch for.
Right. Yeah, that's the way to. But I mean, I say this now. I get so like wrapped up in like what I want to see and everything, and then I'm playing. And all of a sudden, like, why do I feel weird? It's like because you haven't eaten in like 6 hours, and then it's like this. It's like I'll eat the first thing I see, and that's when you get in trouble. That's when the convention center food. It's like it's right there, right next to the booth that I want to go to. I can just get a pretzel, It don't do it.
And a quick tip: if you go to the food court, what's it called? The food block? What is it?
I think it's called something different. Like every time we go there,
it's called the block or something.
Yeah.
You get the food there. Go across the street to Lucas Oil Stadium. Stadium seating. It's air conditioned.
Oh yeah.
And you can eat in there.
It's
comfort.
where they play football. It's like that's awesome.
So if you don't eat. Go get it from the food trucks. Bring it across to Lucas Oil
because the food trucks are at the stadium now. From now
right across the street, yeah.
Okay, because they used to be right outside the one door.
Yeah, but that's not. Last year they changed it, so I think they're staying.
Okay, so maybe it'll be even better because this is something I haven't seen yet. So
All right,
well, that's my
8. Number 8. All right, my number 8 is completely self-serving to both of us. I'm really, and it's legit. I am looking forward to our Lucha Wars tournament.
Yes.
I was like that. In a previous video, the two of us did here, top 10 games, top 10 2-player games. We challenged Backspin the Games to let us to let us run a tournament, and they let us, and they gave us prizes.
They're actually letting us do it.
Right. So we have a tournament set up on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah.
In Lucas Oil.
Oh, it's going to be in Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
awesome. Look for the referee shirts.
Just show them the trophy. Take the little metal piece too next to it.
This one?
The little metal piece. Yeah.
Holy cow!
This may not be the final trophy, but this is the trophy for the Lucha Wars winner.
That's awesome.
So, and Backspindle's giving us a bunch.
Legit.
Backspindle's giving us a bunch of games to give out as prizes.
Oh yeah.
And get Lucha War games as prizes. So
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it because it's a game I love and I want to share it with people who, because I don't think they get enough love.
No.
I mean, I think the game's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot of fun. We've talked about it.
But go watch one of mine, his top 10 list from a couple of months ago, or top 10 two-player. It's on both.
Yeah, and we're gonna do Lucha Wars, so it's gonna be like there's all kinds of weapons around the ring.
There's a ladder.
Yeah.
There's tables. There's a cage.
And it's awesome because you actually have to climb the ladder and fight each other to get to the belt and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we're just doing regular
no ladder
weapon matches.
With weapon matches, no ladder.
Right.
But again,
who knows? We can. Maybe we'll just kind of bust out into open gaming and
if we have someone if you have a tie going on.
Oh yeah,
might break out
ladder match.
Yeah. But that's what I'm looking forward to because I really do love the game and I want to see people play this game.
And hopefully they don't get upset if we're loud because
it's Lucha.
Ladder match.
It's a football stadium. Yeah, if they complain, it's that.
Usually people are cheering and having fun, so I think we'll be fine.
All right, so that's my number 8.
Awesome. All right, what do I have here? Okay, this is just a general one, I guess, and it's basically just things going on around the hall because I was kind of saying before, I'm not any expert this is how you should do GenCon and this and that because I'm just kind of I go there for the things that I care about and then whatever I kind of encounter along the way it becomes part of my GenCon experience.
Exactly.
So I don't really I'm not telling anybody this is the way you should do it or whatever, but there's a lot of cool stuff. If you're walking around and looking for food and whatnot, everybody's doing something different. They have I know every year I think it's for charity where they make these card houses.
It's Card Holla.
Card Holla. Is it for charity?
Yeah, it's for charity.
And it's all the common cards from Magic, the cards nobody cares about.
People volunteer and donate those, and it's they build these things, and at the end of the show they
wreck them.
They throw coins at them to destroy them.
Yeah,
and it goes to charity.
And as you're at Gen Con, you just watch these structures going up as people build stuff, and then the last day, it's just enormous. It's part of the main hall, right? They usually set it up in that main hall.
Yeah, it's right in one of the big entrances.
Right, and then of course all the little rooms, some of the exhibitors will have certain things going on in the small rooms outside of the main exhibit hall. Pandasaurus has been in those, and Funko too, where they're kind of showing new stuff, and it's off to the side. So it's kind of cool to keep an eye out for that, and they'll have people playing music, and they'll have huge balloon dragons and stuff. And
that's cool.
And sometimes I don't know if the companies are doing it anymore, but they would have glass cases with new games.
Oh yeah,
they still do that.
I think they had it last year.
Yeah.
That's where I got First Rat and
right. That's where we saw it actually walking. Yeah, we saw that walk into the main hall. We stopped. We go, "What's this all about?" And then it sold out.
Yeah,
probably because of that glass case. But it's really cool. There's just a lot of different things to see, different clubs and people doing different things, and I guess all this stuff is in the book, but there's so much. A lot of it you just find out from walking around.
There's no way to see. I try to look.
Yeah, I get lost in the text. Plus you're doing stuff, and it's and you get back to the hotel at night, and it's you want to read rules to games you just bought. I want to look. I don't know. That's just me. I know probably other people.
That's why I did that walkthrough last year because. I learned it 2 years ago to do the walkthrough because there's so many things I miss.
Exactly.
I'm not going to see it in the book.
Right.
Because there's too many things to see in the book. It's
and I get distracted by the pictures. I'm just look at that. And all the text is here of stuff going on, but there's this awesome piece of art that's the cover of a game that's coming out. I'm just that's awesome. And then next page, they already lost me,
Then he's on his phone going, when is this coming out?
And I'm just so. As far as I'm just talking about myself. I miss a lot of stuff in the book, so maybe there's people out there that do the same.
That's why I do the walkthrough, so I can see everything.
Those are really cool, yeah.
And I did it 2 years ago without filming it, just because the year before that. Well, that was the prior time because that was COVID year. The year before that. But the year before that, I was at the end of the day, it's wait, you were there? Yeah. It's now I go down every freaking aisle and film it.
It's so easy to miss stuff.
And by having the camera, knowing me, I want to stop at things. With the camera, I know not to stop.
Oh.
So that way I'm focused on...
Yeah, it keeps you, like, on mission.
Otherwise, it would be a 5-hour walkthrough.
Yeah.
But what was it, number 7?
Yeah, that's my number 7.
All right. My number 7, I think you may have on your list, or you thought about it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, going back to the hotel, the Notel, breaking out the games you bought and playing in a little conference hall.
Oh yeah.
That's always been fun. We've met some great people there.
Yep.
And it's like you say we learned some we found out about games, like that really nice guy. Yeah. And he was playing games. Like, oh, I got this game. I was like, hey, what's that game?
Yeah.
And let us play a few rounds.
Yeah.
And it's like we ended up going and buying the game.
Yep.
So the hotel's way away from the convention, but all the people there were going to the convention. They're playing at night because there's not a lot to do over there.
Right. Yeah, and you kind of like comparing, like, oh, where did you get that? And, and then I remember that was the first time we played Splendor. It was at GenCon. Danger Dice and Dungeon. That we were talking about that before. We played that at GenCon.
That Alice in Wonderland game.
Yes.
I forgot the name of that one.
Oh, that's Wonderland Wars, I think.
Yeah, that I didn't think I'd like the game, but I actually did like that.
Yeah, it's great. Just seeing what everybody else is playing, and they're like, what are you playing, and blah blah blah. And then a lot of times, if you just start, like, you want to jump in, and then you game with other people. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a debriefing, like with other people who are like, you're not doing it purposely. Like you're playing games. You want to play the cool games you just got, but in the meantime, it's a what are you looking at, type thing.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Oh yeah,
and it's a good social thing of what you might have missed.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that was my number 7.
Awesome. All right. This one's kind of extension, I guess, of my number 8, and it's basically like the restaurants around the area. So I know we didn't want to do like a diners, drive-ins, and dives thing where, like, you mentioned the restaurant and it kind of like gets flooded. But if you do your research, you'll find a lot of great places off the beaten path that are awesome. And everybody, I think, I don't know if you agree, but everybody, like the people that work at all the places have been awesome. Like, just great people. And they tell you stuff around the area. They give you pointers and everything, and they're super nice. And they ask, "Oh, you out here for the convention?" And you get in conversation.
And this is away from downtown.
Yeah,
because downtown's mobbed. People, the servers there are too busy to deal with.
Right.
And when you go outside the range.
Yeah. If you have transportation, I suggest getting out of the GenCon perimeter, exploring the surrounding area a little bit, and you'll find great places. Yeah, no Facebook. Eric and I went to Indianapolis, the Indianapolis 500, and found a bunch of places over there. This place is what I'm going to tell you about, but but I will say. Remember, the first couple of years we stayed at the Notel, and they had a restaurant in the hotel. Yeah. And we went there for like 3 years, and we only go there for like 4 days out of the year. Yeah. We went there the first year. Waitress was amazing to us. Yeah. Right. We went back the next year. She remembered us. She remembered. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you guys. You're the Star Wars guy, and you're this. I was like, she knew exactly who we were. And then the last time, or a couple of years ago, they closed the place down. Yeah, that was. So then we ventured out and found even more amazing places. So yeah. It was awesome. So we were upset at first, but then they closed that place down last year. Oh, they closed the road down. You couldn't get into it. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, but that our disappointment was short lived because but we found we found a really cool place. Yeah. And the Indianapolis 500 area, they've got nice places and it's not crowded. Yeah. You can get a seat right away. Even at dinner time. Yeah. Because you'll find that I think a lot of people kind of stay close to the convention. Like, yeah. So if you're able to, Uber. Definitely, yeah. Do your research, find an Uber. Yeah. And you'll find good places out there. Oh yeah, definitely. Was that yours or was that mine? What? The number, the list. Did you just? I didn't do mine. That was number 6. Oh, okay, that was mine. So you finished it? Yeah. That's, okay. Yeah, I'm done. All right, number 6 is you'll think me an egomaniac, which you haven't. If you don't already, I am. Right. Number 6 is
meeting everybody who's been nice to me on the BoardGame Sherpa channel last year. When I went last year, people recognized me, and it was the coolest thing. It's like that. Everybody who knows who I am has been nice to me.
Yeah, awesome.
Actually, even the people who don't know who have been nice to me. GenCon's a really nice place.
And he's got like prizes for you if you find them.
We have a motto: find Sherpa, get swag. If you check my other
he's not lying too. Like
if you check my other channels, I did talk about it. If you go to our Lucha Wars tournament, I can guarantee there's going to be cool stuff there.
You probably could see like Sherpa stuff from the space station. If the tournament was outside, like there's going to be so much swag that says like has the look.
I'm sorry. I'll blame. You know what I'll blame this year on? No Facebook Eric.
Oh yeah,
he's my branding tactician.
Awesome. I think it's going to work great. I think it's going to be.
People have been really. Everyone on my channel has been great. They're coming up to me. They're loving the 25 tips and the new one.
That's awesome.
The games I love, and it's just nice to me. And it's like I am looking forward to, having people love me.
Yeah. The Sherpa community.
Team Sherpa.
That's great.
So that's
awesome.
what I'm really looking forward to that.
Right. And you're very appreciative, and you show it through your swag. So it's an awesome thing.
I really do appreciate it. It's like something I'm not used to.
Yeah,
and it's cool.
It's great.
So that was my number 6.
Awesome. All right. Okay, this is something I'm kind of looking forward to. I guess I don't know if it's a great. That's the name of the video, right? Things we're looking forward to. Yeah, I'm going to the Renegade booth. And I've just at first, because I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, the deck builder is very high up on my list.
You're a G.I. Joe fan?
Yes.
I'm not saying anything about that.
I like G.I. Joe, and they at first I was gonna get the Axis and Allies game, but Flounder actually picked it up for Mike. And so I'm kind of like, well, if I could play with those guys. So I'm kind of like, if somebody I know has a game, I'm kind of like, well, let me kind of turn my attention elsewhere, because like that one's taken care of. Like I kind of have access to it.
This is why I'm not buying Escape to New York.
Yeah, I'm the reason why he probably doesn't buy a lot of stuff, because I'm kind of like in my hut on the mountain, I have many games. So, and I'm like that too. But like this game is G.I. Joe Mission Critical. It came out a while ago, and I was kind of like, I wasn't too interested in it. But then I read the rules, and I was looking at the minis and stuff, and they have like a deal. When you could get like a lot of stuff. It's like the starter set where you get like the first expansion, extra dice, this and that for a great price. And I said, I'm in. I'm going. This is what I'm going for. So I'm going to the Renegade booth, and I'm getting that game. And hopefully they have that deal. And if they don't, I'll still get it. So
he will. He'll find a way.
And the minis are awesome. They're like bigger actually than Shadows of Brimstone minis. They're like, I don't know what the millimeter sizes, but I've seen people online saying like the minis are too big. Oh, and which is like, if it's only a problem if they can't fit in the spaces that you want to put them in, and they fit just fine in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm all about it. I want to paint G.I. Joe miniatures, so that's probably a part of it. They have all the Cobra Troopers and the Crimson Guard as miniatures, so those are the bad guys that you place around. It's kind of like. It's the Guardian system that they did for Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid. And the designer that is doing Mission Critical is the same designer that did My Father's Work and the G.I. Joe deck builder, which are like super high on my list.
Right, so the deck builder's right
they
there.
Said T.C. Petty III. I said, I'm in. Even like all the reasons just keep stacking up for me to want this game. So I'm late to the party, but I'm very excited about it. And James is a huge Destro fan, and that part of that bundle is the pack that has Destro as the boss that you have to fight at the end. So he's in. As soon as I said Destro, I'm in. So we're going to be at the hotel playing that one for sure.
No, but you won't be painted by that point.
Oh, we'll play it anyway.
What's about the rule? I won't play it if it's not painted.
That's only for Shadows of Brimstone. I can't not play it. I really, because
okay,
it'll be like one of the only times that it's played unpainted. How's
okay, that works.
We're gonna test it out, and then we can so. Yes, Renegade booth, and they have a lot of awesome stuff there. They're doing great stuff with intellectual properties right now that they have, like the G.I. Joe, what else? Power Rangers. I mean, they do My Little Pony. I'm not really into that.
Really?
But
Isn't that a brony?
I think they have a deck building game for that and stuff. But they have
something for everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Oh, Transformers. Just all that stuff. Like if you're into the toys from the '80s, I mean, it's like being a kid again. It's awesome. I mean, somebody online had said that when they like with this Mission Critical game, they're just like he goes, when I was a kid, I never thought I'd be like middle aged and playing with G.I. Joes. He says, but here I am, and I'm having a great time doing it. So
when I was a kid, I never thought I'd be dressing as Destro, but I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, that's what was
5.
That was my number 5.
Was it 6?
It was 5.
Yours was 5. Okay.
Yep, it was number 5.
All right. My number 5 is a little. Let me read exactly how I wrote it. I couldn't get tickets to it, but I really want to see the Indianapolis 500 board for Heat.
Oh.
Now I may
Was
not.
that something new that's coming?
Yeah,
out?
there's a whole demo out there that I couldn't get tickets to.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, wasn't that a cool thing? I love Heat.
Yeah.
And then have the Indianapolis 500. Now, I couldn't get tickets to see the demo of it, but I'm going to there. I got my little generic tickets, and I want to see that. Because that's
Will you be able to see it?
I'm getting in there. just like
you're going to Sherp your way in there.
Yeah, the Sherpa knows things.
That's great.
I'll give him some swag.
Yeah.
I'll trade a Sherpa swag. I hope they know I'm joking about the swag. But no, isn't that the coolest thing? Like that's
awesome.
That's what if he is at GenCon, it better be the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, that's great.
I love.
Is there a new expansion coming out for it?
It's an expansion, but they didn't mention Indianapolis 500. Indianapolis 500 is something separate. I want to know more about it, but I can't find any more about it. The Days of Wonder page has nothing about it. But there's an event.
I love stuff like
there's an event on at GenCon that's sold out. I'm gonna try to get my ass in there.
There's that's the thing. Like things sell out fast, but like we were saying before, you can get it eventually.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun, just like seeing new stuff and things that like they only do. That's the great thing about GenCon is they save all this stuff for GenCon.
Right.
Like Origins is cool, but like all these companies really kind of like this is the Super Bowl for board games.
Exactly.
And they really everybody's been going all out. It makes it so much fun.
Remember when Splinter announced that they were doing the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
This is how I feel about he bringing out the Indianapolis 500 track.
Yeah, that's like so many levels of like because you visit the track going out there. I remember the first time we did the
Lara Racing
Lara, yeah, and it was really cool because I'm like. I like racing, I guess, but I'm not like really into it. But it was cool seeing everything that goes into it, and it's just part of the experience. Like Heat's awesome, and it has to have like the Indianapolis track is just like cool.
If I could get that track at GenCon, forget about going back the next day. We're playing Indianapolis 500 track at the hotel.
Yeah, and if you don't bring this, we'll buy another copy.
He jokes, but I probably would.
That's great.
But all right, so that's my number.
That's really
5?
cool.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little shout out to ThunderWorks Games. We say we're talking about a lot of their stuff on our top 10 lists, and I actually am going to do I kickstarted MetroRunner, one of their newest games, and I'm actually going to pick it up at their booth
Okay.
So I'll get to say hello to everybody there. I'm really looking forward to that, and that would be a game I think I'd like to bust out at the hotel.
Got it right behind us.
Yeah.
I love that game. I've played that probably more. I've probably played that about 10 times since I got it.
Awesome.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's not in the world of Ulos, but it's in a cool world.
I love the cyberpunk setting. I don't think there's enough games in that setting. And personally, like I actually went back recently. Android Netrunner was a huge card game. Richard Garfield.
I've never played that. That was before I got into gaming.
Yeah, very cool. But the world it's based on was a Fantasy Flight setting. It started with the Android game that was designed by Kevin Wilson, who did Descent, and he was one of the designers of Arkham Horror.
And the Stuff of Legend.
Oh, yeah?
I think he's on it. Yeah, Kevin Wilson.
Oh, yeah? Awesome. Yeah. And he designed Escape from New York, which is one of the reasons why I kickstarted that one. But it's Android was the world it started in. It was really like a game that was kind of ahead of its time, and he actually thought of that game. I remember reading up on it, and I think it's in the rule book where he thought about it on the drive to Origins, I think, and they kind of like. Fantasy Flight back at that time was just like pumping out games, and they really did like different stuff, and it was this game where you're basically an investigator in a cyberpunk setting, and you have like all these personal issues, and you have exactly. So you're trying to solve a murder, and then you're dealing with like your personal life and stuff, and whoever navigates that the best at the end of however it plays wins the game. And then like you have a car, like it's almost like a caliper where like. It's a hover car, and it's like a U, and some people have a bigger U, and some people have a smaller one. That's how far you can move in a turn.
Oh.
So you put it on the dot where you're at, and then you can fly like with your move to that many places in that circumference. And then if you go there, then you can do it again. So like you can upgrade your car to get like a bigger caliper, so it's like faster.
Okay.
And really a lot of cool stuff. But that I went back and I started buying a lot of the Android games in that setting just because like I love that cyberpunk setting. And there was like a game New Angeles I played recently that was great. It's set in Android Netrunner game, and then there was Infiltration. They did a lot of stuff in that universe. So MetroRunner, that was kind of like when I saw that they were doing that, I said I backed it like immediately. So
we've played it. We got the best time to play it to have throw a Pandora and throw the techno music on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's great. It brings the environment to it, the atmosphere.
Right. So it's really cool because it's like I already paid for it. It's going to be waiting there for me, and I go up. I get to say hi to Keith and everybody at ThunderWorks.
Say hi to Keith anyway.
Absolutely,
Keith's
totally.
Awesome.
Yeah, we would go there anyway, and I'll probably pick up something else too.
I don't have anything else to pick up.
Oh,
I have everything.
Yeah, I probably want to get. I don't have Stone Spire Architects.
That's another great game.
Yeah, so I'll probably pick that up too. But it's just kind of cool. Like it's just like there's a game waiting for me there. So
nice.
Yeah, that's my number. What was that? 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My number 4, which actually that leads into. I've never wanted to play Netrunner before, but now I do.
Oh.
So my number 4 is the games library. We booked the passport for the whole weekend, which before it sold out, and we can go in there and play any game they have,
awesome.
At any time. So it's like I want to play Netrunner. I don't want to buy it. Do I want to buy it? No. Do I? Maybe I'll hate it.
Yeah, it's hard to get now. Actually,
but if they have it in the library, we can play it.
Yeah, maybe they will.
Last year, No Facebook Eric and I went to the games library and we're walking in all badass. We're like, oh, do you get tickets? Like, what do you mean tickets? I was like, wait, you need tickets first? Like, okay, let's go get. Okay, we'll get tickets. It's like it's been sold out. I'm like, son of a.
Will it be a recreation of that when you try to get into the Indianapolis 500 heat thing?
No, because I know I don't have a ticket for that one.
Okay.
I didn't know I needed a ticket for it last year.
So you would have been more covert if you...
I'd figure out a way.
Yeah.
But I have to get into that. I got to see it. If I get, I was like, hey, bring my camera and just take a picture of it. I got to see it.
Get one of those super long selfie sticks.
I mean, I think it's a demo, so I won't play it, but at least I'll see it. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like demoing games too much.
Oh.
Because it's too much pressure. You know, it's like if you don't like the game, the person's there just really trying to make you like this game. I'm like, I don't like this game. This sucks.
Yeah.
And you see me do it, and you know it's like I just have no filter with it. No, I don't play anymore.
Yeah. I was walking by one time. I forget where you were.
Hunter Killer.
Yeah, he just gave me this look like "Save me," and I'm on my way to do something else. See,
bro, come back. So the games library, I smartened up and I got the weekend passport for that, and that's what I'm looking forward to trying.
Very cool. Yeah, awesome.
That was my number 4.
Okay. Well, my number 3 is demoing new games. I really enjoy it. Like I like
I like watching people demo it.
Okay.
Because I'll know right away without any guilt in whether the guy's like.
Right.
You know, I don't hate making the demo guy feel bad because I can't fake it.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just like maybe they're not getting the rules across well, and sometimes you just kind of like, okay, I understand. It's like sometimes you just want to start playing, and then it kind of sinks in,
Right.
Because I think that's kind of how I explain games. It's like I'll say a little bit. It's just like let's just start playing.
Okay. Just for a record, he teaches games amazing. I like this is the reason
really?
I love the board. You do. I love the way you
okay.
Like that. Like I expect that from everybody else, and I'm so disappointed all the time. But he teaches. Like if he starts a game, he knows that I'm not done. If he tells me like 20 things ahead, I won't be paying attention.
I've had so many people where it's just like you do that thing where it's just like, okay, this on this turn and blah blah blah, and then you got to do this, but be careful of that, and you just look around the table and it's like, falling asleep on you. So it's just kind of like, all right, we're just gonna start playing. If it's a competitive game, somebody wins. This was the test game. The real game is the next one.
He's really good at
it. This is a throwaway game. It doesn't matter who won it. Don't get bent around it. And usually by the like the third to last turn, everybody's got the strategy down, and then they're just like, well, if I knew what I knew now at the beginning, I would have done. All right, so we'll play again, and then you kind of
exactly.
So, but I enjoy that whole thing, just like learning, seeing what's going on, and then sitting down and trying things out and seeing. And a lot of times, I think it was a few times where I've been done playing. I said, sold. Where do I buy it? And that's awesome. I love that when it's so good that you want to just buy it right there. It's something that you just discovered. It wasn't even on your radar. That's a great experience,
I'm just letting you know, you didn't save me. I bought it. I bought that game that I needed help from saving. I have that game. It's still wrapped in the plastic.
Which one?
Hunter Killer.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to trash him too badly, but it's like,
well,
it's still in the plastic. I bought it because I felt guilty.
And that's why we should give it a shot. Try it out. Maybe it'll be a different experience.
I'll give it a shot if you're teaching me.
Okay.
All right. This is why he's my original board game Sherpa, and this is why the board game Sherpa exists, because
my God.
he brought me into board games such gently that when I've tried to go outside and learn from other people, it's not the same. And they're like if you don't know it, you're an idiot. Honest to God, that's how a lot of the people did. That's why I wanted the board game Sherpa to bring people in.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's never a good thing.
Yeah. So
I don't. Yeah.
But yes, that's what the board game Sherpa is.
Awesome.
But again, more philosophy from John and the Sherpa.
So we'll have to we'll have to Sherp that one and see if we can.
Yeah, we can
change the experience for you. So I think it's doable.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
You got to learn it.
Sure. Yeah.
That was mine.
That was my number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I took a little control of that one, so I felt like it was mine.
No, that's great.
All right. My number 3, we kind of touched on this one. Seeing all the publisher and designer friends we've made over the years. Like Keith from ThunderWorks.
Yeah.
David from Backspindle.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this year, Comic Hunters is coming out, and Robert Coelho is coming. It's bringing it to the U.S. And we got to talking over the last video. Because I really wanted to get Comic Hunters, so he was appreciative of it. So we ended up talking.
Awesome.
So I mean, now it's like oh yeah, we'll meet up sometime. And it was like I love meeting designers. John Goodenough.
Oh yeah,
he was awesome.
Awesome.
Like all these people. Who was it? Christian from not Cryptozoic, Gale Force 9?
Oh, I think that was John. Or the Christian Peterson was Fantasy Flight back in the day.
Okay,
yeah, I used to always like.
I was getting confused at that time with that. I remember we were talking. You were so big into Fantasy Flight that we. Oh man! But we met the guy from Gale Force.
They had such a huge booth all the time, and it's really a different company now. I still love their stuff, but I mean, they just had like this. They would come out with games for you to play as you waited in line to get into buy their stuff. Like, like they came out with card games where you're trying to get these sets, and then there'd be prizes. Like, their booth was like over the top every year, and things really changed. You know, I really miss that time. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I think I kind of went back and bought those Android Fantasy Flight games, because it's like. You know, I look in the back of the rule book at all the people that were still at that company. Right. I was just like, wow, those were like the days.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought things would change with them. You know, like things would change like that when they shuffled around those companies.
It could get better. I thought the same thing with Days of Wonder when they got bought up by Asmodee. Yeah. And then it came out with Heat.
Yeah.
So they turn around.
Yeah, they're still doing great games.
Yeah.
I can't take that away from them. And Marvel Champions is like
we talked about
very high on my list. And they're killing it with that game. And they're going to have Star Wars Unlimited. They're is blowing up, so they're going to be having stuff for that. So I would like to see them have a bigger presence on the floor. You know, like it would be nice to kind of see them kind of doing a little bit more than what they did before. So maybe they were at PAX Unplugged. They actually had demos of the new Star Wars game. So maybe they'll have something like that going on.
If they were PAX Unplugged, they'll probably go to GenCon and have a bigger, because that's the Oscars at night.
I know. It's closer to their headquarters, because I think they're in Minnesota still. Right. So, I think they'll have something decent going on.
Right, that was my number 3, right?
Was that yours?
That was my number 3.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 2, we already talked about, was Games at the Hotel. I really enjoy that.
It is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I look forward to that. It's just very relaxing. It's nice, and it's different from. It's like at the show, it's just like,
boom,
it's
boom,
and then you get back to the hotel, and then it's like usually it's after dinner, and everybody's just like, oh, I'm gonna take a shower, and then we come down, we'll play something. It's very peaceful, and you just kind of relax and
get people from all over. We're in Indianapolis, so that guy, really cool guy. He was from like Minneapolis, Wyoming.
Yeah, I forget,
but he's from the Midwest. Yeah, and it's like. We're from Jersey, so it's a different world sometimes. Yeah, and it was kind of cool to meet people.
Yeah, just talk about board games. You start talking about like, how was your trip out, and what do you do for a living, and all this kind of stuff.
I was hoping to see him last year. He wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad. But and then it's like the hubbub. It's just like such a different scene, It's like, but everything's crazy at GenCon, and in a good way. And then you get back to the hotel. It's nice and peaceful, and you're playing games and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It's just very relaxing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, obviously.
Yeah. So, that's it for that one. I think we talked a lot about it before.
Okay, 2. We might have covered this already, but all the great games that I already talked about in both of my new games videos, Comic Hunters, Hi-Fi, Sears Catalog, MetroRunner, etc., etc., etc. Like. All these games that are coming out that I can pick up and play back at the hotel. Yeah, that's what I'm. Again, what do you go to GenCon? I mean, to learn about new games. Yeah, but to physically have those games in your hands and
right. And I actually, when we're packing the vehicle to go out there, I kind of think, okay, this area is for games that are coming back.
That's actually why we drive up. That's why we started driving them. It's because we didn't want to bring back all the games on the plane. Yeah, that we wanted room in the trunk, and we never get a car with a trunk. We gotta go back.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's almost like that's part of the planning and everything. So it's awesome. It's great. Was
my number 2, right? So you're number 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll definitely not be surprised by this one. It's basically the Flying Frog booth, Flying Frog Productions. Like, I love Shadows of Brimstone. It's my favorite game of all time.
Right.
And I just like they'll do stuff at their booth. I mean, I'll go there to buy stuff, of course, that I don't have. And I'll just go there because they'll do all kinds of events. I'll go to play Shadows of Brimstone, like even sets I've played already, just to play it, because it's just fun with the designers and stuff, which is great because they're kind of like you can ask rules questions and it's like right from the source,
And they're really nice.
They're awesome.
I mean, if you watch my Shadows of Brimstone trilogy after last year's Gen Con, show you how nice those people are.
Yeah. And then it's like they'll have like previews where they'll show you stuff that didn't come out, and then they'll have the miniatures that they kind of like 3D printed, and they'll pass them around so you can hold them. They're like, and then they'll do a thing for the Kickstarters, and it's the set, like the stuff that they're starting to design that they didn't get, like they didn't really have like physical stuff yet when they did the Kickstarter, and now they're starting to like catch up and sculpt the miniatures and get the rules and stuff, and they'll pass around the cards and they'll talk about different things that you've been waiting for that, were kind of only conceptual art, and now you can hold it in your hand, and, it's great. And then they do this huge game on Sunday, and they'll actually have the boards you can play, like just did a Kickstarter for Tombs of Kamentet, like the Egyptian set.
That's out already, though, right?
No, it's
still in. It's
going to be another couple of years, but they have it so you can play it at their booth like this year.
Oh wow!
So like, and it's great because they have. There's going to be like all kinds of traps, like you get into like the rooms in these tombs and the sand starts coming in, and like you all have to figure out how to undo the puzzle, kind of like, in classic Indiana Jones style, where it's just like, somebody hold the sand from coming in while we try to figure out the levers to get this to stop, and it's like a whole new thing they added to the game.
Okay. And
people have talked about it because they have a convention out in Washington State. They do like Roll to Move, and then Dice Fest, and people were talking about it on the Facebook group. And now, like at Gen Con, I'll get to play it. We'll get to play it and see how that works, like going through these tombs, and then there's mummies and like deadly scarabs coming at you and stuff. So to see that, because the game's not going to deliver for another like 2 years, so we'll get actually to play this thing is awesome. And then they have every game in their library you can play. And then they'll have stuff they didn't even announce. Like they'll have miniatures for sale there that you'll just find out about by walking in. You go, oh my God, like, what's this? It's like some kind of ogre, like half ogre, half like, centipede thing that you can add to your game to just like terrorize you.
Patent pending on that one.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Pay him.
Yeah, and it's cool because they get the stuff out quick because they don't have to go through the whole manufacturing process of like getting the box and blah blah blah. Like they'll print up the stuff, get the rules, and they put it in cardboard boxes with like a nice decal on it, so they get these things ready to go fast. Yeah. Like they don't have to wait for that whole like corporate production process to get these things ready.
They run their company excellently. I mean, from the customer service to the production,
and they asked all of like people like me, like the fans and the backers, like, do you guys want real boxes, or are you guys cool with the white boxes? And everybody's like, white boxes, because we get the stuff fast. It's cheaper for them and for us to buy it. Yeah. It's like everybody wins. It's like we don't need all the fancy boxes. And it's great because they actually like it's like talking to your friends. Like it's not like some company that doesn't you don't know who you're talking to or whatever. Like they ask us at the booth like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Like blah blah blah, and everybody kind of says this is great, or they say, oh, could we try this, or what do you think about this? And they'll say, oh, well, we'll check that. We'll think about it. And
that's awesome.
It's awesome. And I just find myself like I'll walk around like I've talked about all this other stuff that I'm interested in, but like I'll be like, oh, what's going on at Flying Frog? And I'll come back and I'll go, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Like there's these new dice for something that I missed on the first time, so I'll pick that up, And
Just so you know, if I lose John at the con, and I go do my thing,
Yeah.
does his thing.
Flying Frog
All I have
booth.
to do, go right to the Flying Frog, and I guarantee he's within
Or I'll show up within 5
Yeah,
minutes. It's great. I'm getting excited talking about it now because I know there's some things I don't have that's out that I want to get, but I know there's going to be new stuff, and I'm just wondering what it's going to be. And then I'm repeating myself because I'm just we get to play the mummy, the tombs, and see. It's going to be great, and it's the designers run it, so it'd be hey, I've been playing this way for the past 2 years. Am I doing it right? And and then he'll tell you. It's so great. It's awesome. So yeah, that's my number one. I
think you might be surprised at my number one. And I can show you on the page that I wrote this.
All right.
Playing Shadows of Brimstone at GenCon as a fan with the designers with him. This is something I never thought I'd have.
This is a new one for you, for me. Because you had
no interest.
Yeah, you would not. He came to Flying Frog booth to get me in the past.
Yeah,
you had no interest in anything there.
And I was like, oh yeah, he's with his friends. I'm out.
Yeah,
right?
That's awesome.
He always goes, and I was like, I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go I don't know. I'm gonna go sit down over in the quiet room.
I'm gonna go get a bratwurst.
get a bratwurst. I'll be in the bathroom for a half hour. But now that if you watch my Shadows of Brimstone trilogy, where we talk about going to Gen Con last year without John, and they treated me so well. Yeah. And I told him I had no interest in this game. I was just buying something for him. They treated me so well, and that customer service made me interested in the game. So I actually asked him to teach me how to play it, and he over the course of this three video set, I go from being not knowing anything about Shadows of Brimstone to loving it.
Yeah.
So to actually play with the designers, just listen. Did you just listen to him talk about the game? It's he's so passionate about it. How do you not get caught up in that?
It was great. That would have. It's almost like, whatever you want to call it, fate that I couldn't go to Gen Con last year because you would have never. Yeah. Because if I went last year, you would have done the same thing probably. I'd
have the bratwurst.
Yeah. But you going in there because I wasn't there to do stuff. It just created this whole thing that now you're going to be part of the Flying Frog hoopla this year, which is awesome. It's so cool.
I never thought I'd be there.
Yeah, it's really cool how that worked out.
All right, so that was my number one, right?
Yeah, it was both of our number ones.
All right, do you have any honorable mentions?
Well, one honorable mention, I guess I should mention the Luchador tournament. I agree with what you said.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, right?
Yeah,
I know you love tournaments.
Oh yeah.
Watch our two-player game to show how much the number one position that hockey game to show how much he loves tournaments. that's kind of how we started off with this. Oh
yeah. That's going to be a lot of fun. And you'll probably hear us. You look for the referee shirts.
Friday at 4 p.m. in Lucas Stadium.
That's going to be awesome.
Can't tell you this. I couldn't tell you this where in the stadium, but if you're around the event things, Lucha Wars tournament.
Yeah, that's. If as far as honorable mentions, that's all I got.
All right, I got two.
Oh, awesome!
All right. Okay, first honorable mention, and this would have been at the top of my list any other year. Going to the Indianapolis 500 Museum.
Oh,
we went there last year. It was amazing, and you didn't go because you went to the Delara. The Delara is great. Indianapolis official museums 10 times. But they're doing renovations until April 2025. You can still go and get on a tour bus around the track.
Oh,
but we did that. If you want to do it, we'll do it. But if you get a tour bus around the track and stop at the bricks and take pictures of the bricks and
I'd be up for doing that.
Yeah, I'd gladly do it. But if it was a year that it wasn't being renovated, I would go there just even though I've been there. It's that nice.
Oh, awesome.
That's my first honorable mention.
Okay, cool.
Second one's more of a it's a goofy one. It's true. all the thing I'm looking forward to most is all the cool things I don't currently know about, but will discover at Gen Con. You kind of went down the path.
Right.
You know, I love going there and finding, I was like, oh my God. Like last year when we found out about the museum, I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And that was like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these games, you know, I didn't know I didn't realize Shadows Brimstone was as exciting as it was. I mean, I know I hear you talk about it, but it's like...
Right.
You know,
it's like, you know, you probably got sick of me talking about it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I know about Heat's Indianapolis 500 thing, but there's going to be things there I'm going to be walking that aisle like, oh my God, what's that?
Yeah, that's a great thing, you know.
There's not knowing it.
Yeah.
The element of discovery, the exploring is...
Yeah, I remember when I didn't know anything about Jabba's Palace. I think it's like a take on Love Letter.
Yeah, right.
And that was with Game I demo, and I was just like sold. You know, I played 2 rounds of it. I didn't even know it was coming out. I'm like, this is just like that initial part of Return of the Jedi, and everybody that was there, like Boba Fett and Luke and R2-D2, Chewbacca. It's like, this is awesome. It's just that scene from Return of the Jedi. Playing sold.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, just like this stuff where you see it set up and you go, oh, and then you wind up loving it, and it's just
who knows? I mean, like the year we went to the Lara Racing Factory, I never watched the Indianapolis 500, but I started watching it and I love it. I haven't missed one yet.
Wow,
like
that's awesome.
I was watching. There's a picture of me out there with holding a paper bag, and I was over bed playing because it was like. Joseph New whatever his name is. It's a long.
Is that who you were rooting for?
Yeah, because he won the year before, and I was like, he's racking back with this other guy. And I'm like,
well,
it's like,
really, wow.
Mrs. BoardGame Sherpa is laughing at me. She knows that's true. But yeah,
that's great.
But I never thought I'd find a love for Indianapolis 500 at Gen Con.
Wow. That's cool.
So those are my honorable mentions.
I love racing games, and I really get it. I have a few of them, but I don't know. I haven't made that step to watching it on TV, so I don't know what'll be the thing that gets me to do that.
I like racing. And it's just I mean, last year when Joseph Newgarden won, after he stopped, he won the race. He got out of the car, took his helmet off, jumped through a hole in the fence. Ran into the stand. It was like getting high fives from all the. It was like the coolest thing.
Wow, and that's like very pro wrestling-ish, I guess.
It was, and he did it again this year.
Really?
And
that's cool.
And it was like when you took the tour, you stop it there and you see the hole where you jump through.
Oh,
that's
cool.
And it's like
that makes
if I was a bit younger, I would have jumped through it myself. But
wow.
It's such a cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never thought I'd love indie car racing, but I do.
That's great. Wow.
And thanks to Gen Con.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's you got anything else to say?
No, that's it for me.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see you at Gen Con.
We'll see you at Gen Con. You see us?
Yeah.
Come up to us. Find Sherpa, get swag.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But come on out and say hi. And we'll see you next episode.
Yeah. That's not too bad, right?
Yeah. Get there, just on Jack. I got a winter hat on. I got a winter hat on.
I mean, like, I couldn't say the name of, like, couldn't say heat without, like, getting hotter, you know? I'm just like, oh, it's just reminding me.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.